All right, welcome to our February session of Juiced. So excited to have you guys back. I really want to give you guys lots of energy today, really push through these months that sometimes can be a little slow, a little wanky. They make us like question every decision we've ever made about marketing and business, right? So let's jump in to what we can do in February and going into March that really impacts our call count and all of the things that we do that we need to do to drive business. Okay. So today we're going to talk about, I need more calls. And where do I start? Okay. So here's a little checklist that we use for our clients to make sure, like, is everything operational? So I do have one little bit of bad news to tell you. And that bad news is there are very few things that we can really do to immediately create call count for your business. Whether you're a plumbing business, electrical business, HVAC business, pest control business, pool cleaning business, again, there's very few things. There are things, but there are very few things that we can do to really drive immediate call count. That is why it's important that we have a very good balance of how our marketing mix is set up and created. Okay. So let me tell you, this is going to hurt some of your feelings, but if you are the person that all you have done is invest solely in PPC ads and you got a website up, you're going to be the ones that struggle when demand is low because no demand means very little searching. So you have to get really creative. So please, if I could just like beg you guys today in the name of the month of love, if you would start branding somewhere. Get passionate and active on social media. Put a couple of billboards up that are just your logo and tagline right in the middle of where the majority of your people drive. Get invested in radio. Get invested in like some YouTube things or something, just something that puts your brand out there, not super salesy. Make sure your trucks are wrapped. Make sure they're driving around. Those things matter so very much in building the brand equity and the strength of your brand so that when times are low, right? Like demand is low. You don't have to just rely on a digital presence. You really can rely on a solid brand presence. So I'm not gonna beat y'all up on that today. Today we're gonna talk about a couple of things like if your call count is low, where can I start? Right. So let's start on the marketing side of things. I'm gonna dig a little bit into operational things later, but it's things that directly impact the marketing. So we're gonna dig into those things too. But let's start off with where does my mind immediately go if I have a company that's suffering from call count? So, the first thing I do is you eat an elephant and a cookie the same way, one bite at a time. So, when we are looking at things, we don't want to get overwhelmed and start assuming nothing's working, right? Nothing's working. We're not hitting call count. Number one, most of you probably do not have an accurate number on what call count should be. And if you don't, you should really start getting a call count out to yourself every single day so that you know what call count you need to drive. So the first thing I do is I go look at all digital aspects, right? So I start on the website. And this is going to sound like super corny, okay? And you're like, "Oh, yeah. My everything's fine." But sometimes you find like little things that might have fallen through the cracks. So I start with our website. So I go to the client's website. I double check the form fills. I call all the numbers on there and do a check. Hey, this is the marketing company just doing a check to make sure everything's working, right? I go click through all of our links and things like that. I just go navigate the website to make sure that all of that is there. I double check my coupon page. Is everything up to date? Are my coupon offers applicable to the season that we're in? Are they matching the weather? Do I have like 5 pop-ups that are coming up? Like, thank you for visiting our website. Do you want to chat? Schedule now. Here's a coupon. All of those things are not great for a user experience. You have to be very intentional about those things. So, what I would like for you to do is check both on your desktop and on your cell phone. So, you're just making sure if you are getting leads from places or when they land on your website, are they being successful? So, that's the website side of things. Guys, I say this quite often. I said it like 5 times yesterday. Pretty is not converting. So you may have a beautiful website that no one ever sees. And I don't know about you guys, but I do not peruse heating and air conditioning and plumbing electrical sites in the evening for fun. It's not what I do. Therefore, it is what 99% of the world does not do. So your website can be beautiful and it needs to be on brand. But the point is, it alone, the actual website alone is not going to drive call count. So in pertaining to your website, you really should care very much more about how the user experience is with your website, meaning how easy is it to navigate on both desktop and cell phone. Remember, cell phone is where a lot of everybody is doing their work. So you would want to make sure that you are easily navigatable on there. Okay. So that's the website side. Now, what makes a website perform better is the SEO, the search engine optimization side. And on the search engine optimization side, that is where I just put in a good call to my website company. And I'm like, hey, last month, can we look at where we are ranking currently? So right now, your web company can show you right now what are the top search terms in your market. So if you're a plumbing company, what are the top search terms for the plumbing services that you offer? And what are people searching? In what cities are they searching it? And where do you currently rank for those things? Where does your website and your SEO currently rank you for those search terms? Start there. And SEO, though, again, guys, it's a long-term strategy. So you're not going to be able, oh, good, I want to start optimizing plumber near me, and you can start owning it in 2 days. That's not how it works. But what I'm telling you is this is a comprehensive approach to cleaning that up. So start there. Where is my SEO? Am I ranking very well? What terms do I need to do? And let me trust my digital vendor's guidance. Okay. And a lot of you don't think SEO is important. It is the most important piece, if you ask me. Branding and SEO are long term marathon approaches to building your brand equity in the market and building yourself up more and more and more organically so that people have more. It's just a foundational pieces, if you will. Okay, so that's the SEO side. The next thing that we're going to check is Google Business Profile. So you know what I'm going to go do? I'm going to go post. I'm going to walk around with my cell phone and go take a few pictures of our trucks and our office from the side, from. I'm going to walk in the back and get maybe some equipment stacked up, some of my call center, and I'm going to upload those to my Google Business Profile. I'm going to upload those pictures of my business and our collateral, your signage, your trucks, and all of that. If you can go out to a job site that day and take a few pictures, upload those to your Google Business Profile. Not 100, but I do think you could get away with uploading, 5 or 6 new, fresh content. Make sure your phone numbers are on there. Make sure you've answered that your profile is fully filled out, that it looks good, that all your hours are correct. Just do a good audit of your Google Business Profile. Um, there is lots of tutorials through Google itself on how to optimize your Google Business Profile. Again, it's more about making sure if they're asking, it's like a dating app, right? So if they're asking you like upload a picture and tell me your favorite, what you like doing, and you enjoy long walks on the beach at night, and all these things, you want to make sure every single thing is filled out with good information on that Google Business Profile and that you have the appropriate answers filled in and that you're telling the truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God on there. But uploading some content and doing some things like that just really, I call it agitate the Google Business Profile, in my opinion. Don't go buck wild. Do not go in there and upload 1,000 pictures to it. That's going to red flag everything. Just be calm, cool, and collected. Upload some fresh pictures. So, for example, if you've got snow on the ground, I'd put snow on the ground in the pictures. If it is 112 degrees, it would be looking hot. Okay. So I would right now just clean up your Google Business Profile, do a little push in there, make sure you've answered all of your Google reviews. It just kind of re-energizes that. Okay. Then we're going to move to Google Local Service Ads. Bum, bum, bum. Google Local Service Ads. Listen, this is the best thing I heard about Google Local Service Ads. And I can't exactly remember where I heard it, but I read every single day about digital. So I get kind of lost in where I hear things. But Google Local Services was designed to even the playing field. So those of you that maybe were smaller contractors versus larger contractors. So a lot of times you'll say, man, I just get beat out by price. Or by spend. I'm sorry, by spend. This contractor can just outspend me. And you know what? The truth is they can. They can. They can outspend you in PPC ads and all of those things. So Google Local Services was designed to not make it to where you can't just spend yourself into first position. So I give this terrible analogy. It's terrible, but a lot of people laugh at it when I'm done. So we're going to go with it. But so I say that Google Local Services is like a junior high dance, right? So you have all the girls and they all go and buy the prettiest dresses. They get their hair fixed. They make sure their shoes look good. They make sure that they look pretty as they can look, right? And they go line up around the cafeteria where the junior high dance is, right? So you got all these young kids and they're scared of everything, but they're lined up around but they've done everything in their power to look as good as they can. Okay. Well, then in comes the jock, the kid that everybody loves, at the top guy for the junior high dance, right? He's the popular dude. He's the dude that everybody wants to dance with. So again, he also known as Google. Okay. So contractors, we're all the pretty girls around the wall. And Google is you know, the Ken Barbie, if you will, of the junior high dance. So when he walks in, he's going to look around and there's lots of pretty girls to pick from. So he just starts picking them, right? He just starts picking them and dancing with them. And there's really nothing you can do in that moment to be prettier. You got as pretty as you could when you came to the dance, right? So what he does is eventually girls get tired of dancing, so they fall off, or they take their hair down, or they kick their shoes off. Something falls off and other people keep staying in there. So it's a terrible example, but what I'm trying to tell you is all you can do for Google local service ads is be pretty and ready to dance. Okay? You got to be pretty and ready to dance so that when Google walks in the cafeteria for that 8th grade dance, he is going to choose you to at least one dance at a time. Okay? So we want to make sure we are ready for the dance every single time. So is our profile updated? Do we have money in our bucket? Do we have money to play the game, right? Is our certificate of insurance? Is our background checks? Are we answering calls? So most of you that are failing at Google local services, the biggest thing that you're not doing is answering the call. So literally Google's asking you to dance and you're like, nah, not right now. No, thank you. Right. So you're scared of it or whatever, or you have left to go outside to eat at the snack bar again because you did not stay in the mix. Okay. So what I want to encourage you here is you got to be pretty. You got to be ready to dance at all times. So background checks, answering your calls, answer the phone, answer the phone. If you are not going to answer the phone, do not turn on Google local service ads. So literally I've had contractors tell me before, well, we don't open till 8:30 and then we close from 11 to 1 for lunch and then my girl goes home at 4. Yeah, don't turn on Google local service ads. You're going to suck at it and you're not going to answer the calls and then Google's going to ding you and then it's worse than if you just didn't do it at all. So you got to be prepared to do what's right for Google local service ads. Okay. Also, another thing in there is you've got to be requesting reviews. So Google reviews and Google local service ad reviews are not the same. We want Google local verified reviews, meaning that you are requesting their review out of the dashboard and it is not the same. So, and they're weighted differently. If you ask me, in my opinion, they are weighted differently. If I have a client that answers the phone, keeps their certificates up to date, keeps a consistent budget there, and is asking for the reviews and disputing leads and calls, those things are those contractors tend to be a lot higher ranking. Okay. They get, that's not a good way to put it. They're not the highest ranking. They're the ones that are getting the most return from Google local service ads. Okay. Then here's the other tip that I have about Google local. You want every single Google local lead that you can get because it is one of the very few opportunities to digitally that a person clicks and schedules and you only pay when they actually call your business. Right? So you are only paying for that lead when they actually call the business. PPC, you got those little clickety click warriors out there that just click on all your ads and spend through all your dollars, and you have no idea if they actually called or not a lot of times. But with Google local service ads, that is not the truth. As a matter of fact, it is to me, the most directional, transactional thing to track. So for the most part, I can go look and see that let's say some of you would panic at this number, but let's say that I spent $10,000 in Google local service ads and I'm only paying $30 a lead. Look how many leads Google local generated for me. So when they're like, you need to add more money to Google local services and you say, no, thank you. You're literally saying, I don't want any more leads versus PPC, right? So with PPC, What you've got here is pay-per-click ads that you don't always have good read on. So you could spend through your five or $6,000 PPC budget and not really see any directional calls. There are systems in place to track it, the journey through those clicks, but really it's not nearly as directional as Google Local Services. So if you're going to turn anything off, turn PPC off, not Google Local Service ads. So I hope that's helped some of you. Because people are like, I've just never got anything off GLSA. Well, we need to get in there and freshen that baby up and kick it into gear, right? So Google Local Services, I'm just very passionate about because I think people don't know what to do with it. Also, if you have a company that is quote unquote managing your Google Local Services, they should be the ones that are disputing leads and sending the Google reviews and allocating budget, making sure that you're up to date with your insurances and all of that. So if they're not doing those things, they are not managing anything that you couldn't manage yourself. Okay. All right. So those are like what I do on the digital side. I come in and I look at all of those things. The next thing that I do is I start looking at my social media platforms. Now, some of y'all are like, boo, boo, hiss. Y'all are like, nobody wants to do that. But guys, I know y'all are so sick of hearing this, but video content is where it is at. Video content is how we win the game of branding and awareness. So, you know what we should do right now? Launch some videos on social media about ways to get ready for winter. Hey guys, I've noticed hey guys, it's Crystal with Yellow Bear Air. Have you guys seen the Arctic blast that's coming in? We can help you get ready. Call today and we can come out, get your heater tuned up, make sure that you are not going to be left out in the cold during this Arctic blast. Call us today at yellowbearair.com or 936-123-456. Guys, we can't wait to talk to you. If you really want help, you can also message our Facebook page and we'll be happy to get back with you. See you soon. Stay warm. Boom. I just recorded that little bitty message. Push it out. You also could do videos like, here's 3 tips. Hey guys, it's Crystal with Yellow Bear Air. You know what? Have you guys seen this Arctic push that's going to be coming in soon? I wanted to provide you guys with 3 safety tips around chimneys and fireplaces in your home. According to the National Fire Chimney Association, here are 3 things that we should be doing. Number 1, make sure your flue is open. Number 2, but hey, guys, you know what really helps is let me help make sure that your heating and air conditioning system for your home is keeping your home warm. There are ways that we can come out and make sure that you're getting the most out of your system. Call us today or visit us online at yellowbearair.com. Those are easy. Another one, let's talk about plumbing right now, right? So we could talk about sump pumps and backup sump pumps. Things that people are like, I don't even know if I need that, right? Hey guys, it's Crystal with Yellow Bear Plumbing. And I'm coming to you today to talk about, have you guys seen the freeze? Oh my gosh, here we go. Another round of freeze. But if you're worried about frozen pipes or you're worried about water backing up into your basements, right now at Yellow Bear Plumbing, we have a great special going on sump pumps and backup sump pumps. Have you ever thought about a backup sump pump? Let me show you how we can get you financed and installed within 7 days. Call us today or visit us online at yellowbearplumbing.com. So those are simple videos, guys, that you guys could make and get them put out on your social media. Start doing some fun videos and content. Walk around your call center and have them wave and say, we're waiting on your call. Call us today, Yellow Bear Air. All of those things just generate some buzz around your brand. And you're trying to grab what you can of people searching. You're talking about generators and backup sump pumps and duct cleaning and dryer vent cleaning and electrical panel replacements. You're talking about pest control that you might, all the services that you offer. Find those little outline pieces that people might need, but they might not be thinking of, and try to grab those leads. Now's a really good time for those leads. So, social media, make sure that you have fresh content on all platforms. Update your graphics, change your headers. What this does is it just, again, I use the word agitates. It just starts saying, oh, Yellow Bear Air has updated their profile photo, right? Feature some people, feature a client testimonial. If you have the time, so you're telling me that you don't have call count. That means you have a call center girl that can go out and take pictures. You have the opportunity to get some stuff done. So social media is a really good one to double check. So one of my favorite things, and I know you guys are probably so over the word rehashing, but I truly believe that we need to be working and cultivating our existing database in a clean and organized approach. But the main thing that happens for rehashing, and I have to hang my hat here for a few minutes, is clean data in, clean data out. Okay. So if you guys are not tracking some of the most important pieces and tagging those things, it will negatively impact your ability to rehash effectively. So when I say that, like, so we need to be tracking everybody's full information. So contact information. So what are their phone numbers, cell phone numbers, emails, the correct addresses spelled correctly or their name spelled correctly. All of those things really matter. And then on the operational side of that, like we need to be able to have tags and task codes that we can then manipulate into different audiences. So how can I pull all of your existing memberships? How can I pull everyone that had a maintenance tune-up so far this year, everyone that got refrigerant added into their system last year, got recommended a blower wheel cleaning, got recommended a backflow preventer, got recommended if they replaced 3 toilets. Like, what is the signal piece inside of the CRM that you're using so that we can then create those people into audiences. So what I like to say is, you need to look at every client in your database is an opportunity. Okay. It's an opportunity to um put them, what all criteria do they meet? So when you look at someone like that, maybe they're a member of your maintenance club, but they haven't had a tune up and their system is over 12 years old. So I call that a unicorn. Like, come here, baby. Like, those are my little favorite leads, right? Come here, come to me, because we're gonna win. Okay. And so we want to easily identify who in your group has an older system, who has older pipes, who lives in certain areas. Those things are just very important and impactful when we're trying to build out audiences. And so another thing with the audience building that's really important. So, number one, clean up your data. Make sure that your team is doing a good job of getting model numbers, serial numbers, age of equipment, age of home, as much as you can, and get it as clean as you can. You have to inspect what you expect. So, and you deserve what you tolerate. So we have got to make sure that we are putting a pressure and accountability on our CSR team and on our dispatchers to gather. There's not too much information that we can gather, and then making sure that we are documenting what tasks and things are happening there. So clean data in, clean data out. And then we talk about audience building. And what that is how can we build out groups of people so that we can target the actual promotion to them specifically. So if I were to send out, hey, happy birthday to your system, I can't send that to my existing database. Some of us have a brand new system, some of us have a very old system, and the average life of a system is 12 years in Texas. And so we run the heck out of an AC system during the summer, right? Well, those of you that are in the Pacific Northwest, you might have a 15-year, 16, 17-year life of a system because you don't have to run your system as hard. But those things are important for us to know so that we can build out the correct audiences. And again, I like to understand owner occupied. Like, that's another thing. Like, if you get a rent house, we're not trying to market and waste our energy on the renter. We want the owner. Those are just ways that we can identify people in there. So the audience building is very important, but it all stems from how we are doing things operationally. And so that can be very frustrating to marketers because you get in there and you have all these ideas, but then you can't extract the right data to separate these people into audiences. So let's talk about some of the campaigns that we could use, right? So we have open estimates. That's everybody's favorite. That is one that 1000% should be an automated campaign. Those of you that haven't automated with like Chirp or even some Marketing Pro things, there are so many options. There are several options right now of very good, reputable companies. Lemon Seed likes Marketing Pro and Lemon Seed likes Chirp. Both of them, we have clients being successful with those. So there's other new ones coming out every single day. So I just encourage you to test before you invest. So on open estimates, though, what we want to focus on is segmenting those open estimates so that we can tailor the message correctly. We can curate the message. So, for example, a new system open estimate is probably going to get a little bit more of an intentional offer. Like, hey, call us today. Let's make sure that quote is still good, and we're willing to give you $250 off the original cost of the system. Give us a call today. Let's send somebody back out, or we can book this online today, whatever we want to do. But you want to be able to focus on people that just have the open estimate of a new system. Sorry. So open systems, that's a great open estimates, that's a good one for systems. The next one would be like, what about an open estimate for an IAQ? Right. So maybe you provide in the text message that goes out a link to watch a video about the IAQ that you suggested to them and say, hey, we noticed that we recommended link, insert link here, this solution to your home's indoor air quality. Call us today and ask us how you can save an additional 25%. So you know what they're going to do? They're probably going to click on the link. But what I can't do is send that message to the people with the open systems, open estimates around a system. Okay. So you really need to get in there and make sure that you're tailoring those messages. The other one would be like, what about everyone that we did a drain clearing for last year that really had no major outcomes from it? Like maybe we can say, hey, we were at your house in 2023, 2024 is a new year. How about our $24 drain clearing special? Call us today. If you're still having trouble, we'd love to come out and clear that drain for $24. Okay. Remember, y'all just told me, a lot of you just told me, like, man, I can't, my phones aren't ringing. I need call count. I need call count. So if you need call count, we got to get aggressive. We got to be disruptive. So reach out to people that you knew already needed a drain clearing last year. Maybe they didn't do what they needed to do to get it all the way cleared. Get you back out there for $24. Try to flip that lead over and wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Here we are with aggressive leads, but those have got to be tailored to the audience. Okay. That's there. Okay. The other ones like on open estimates, like what about a repair estimate? So you might say, hey, any repairs that were over $2,500, send the financing link and say, hey, we noticed that we gave you a repair over $2,000. Here's a link to see if you qualify for financing, or call us today to see how you can claim $50 off that repair if you can schedule in the next 7 days. Right? Those are easy rehash programs. You just have to be able to segment the audience that deep. Okay. Next, let's talk about some other campaigns that we could run to rehash some things. What about canceled calls? People that book with you and then they cancel. So if you're aligned with Chirp or Mark, well, if you entered them into the system, you need to enter that call into the system. So they canceled, right? So they called your CSR, put them into the system, right? And now they've called back and canceled. We can automatically throw them into a drip campaign. So the first thing they're going to get is a text message. We're so sorry you had to cancel. We're still here if you ever need us. And then maybe 72 hours later, you send them an email. Maybe you outbound call them. Hey, Miss Williams, I saw that you were on our schedule for yesterday, and I saw that you had to cancel. We hope that you got everything taken care of. Is there anything that Yellow Bear Air can do for you today? Oh, no, honey, y'all couldn't get to me. Somebody got to me faster. No problem, Miss Williams. I just thought I would call and check. We hope you have a great day. That's it. Because remember, so what? What's next? Thank you so much. Move on, right? We're moving on. But sometimes you might say, yeah, I canceled because I thought it was better, thought it had fixed itself, but last night it was still hot and now I'm worried. Okay. Or, hi, Miss Williams, I see that you canceled your drain clearing yesterday with us. Did that drain start flowing well for you? It did, girl. I was so excited that it started flowing better. Great. Well, odds are, Miss Williams, that drain clearing is probably going to become an issue again in the future. I would like to offer you a $10 coupon if you'd allow my plumber to come out today. Just do a double check. So instead of being $93, it's going to be $83 today for us to come out. And let us just double check and make sure that that drain is really good to go. Are you going to be home today this afternoon? And all of a sudden, that if they click on that link and respond to the text message, you're able to have that whole conversation in text message, right? So guys, I'm telling you, this is not rocket science. It's more about being intentional about those canceled calls. So they got a text message, sorry that you canceled. You outbound dialed them. You sent a ringless voicemail drop. All of those things could be orchestrated through a program like Chirp. All right. So let's move on from canceled calls to financing. I kind of mentioned this one earlier. Another unique way is calling, outbound calling. We'll talk about that in a minute, but sending an email. So let's say I called and I got a quote. You guys came out and quoted. My system wasn't really down, or my plumbing wasn't broken yet. I had just been having issues. So I wanted you to come out and tell me how much it would be to fix the main drain or give me a new system. So I really wasn't down. So in Texas, one of our issues, for those of you that are in southern hot states, one of the issues is people don't wait, right? So if their AC is out, they got to replace it because they can't survive it, right? So, but for some of you that are in a more mild market, they can be waiting and sitting on those things. So send them an email that says, hey, We gave you this quote. Here's a link, a reminder. Here's a link to our financing. This will get you pre-qualified. Please call us today. Let's make sure you're taking advantage of every sales opportunity that we have and rebate that we have. Those financing links sent through text and sent through email are just a reminder to the homeowner like, hey, I know you may be worried about how you're going to afford this, but here's a way to do it. Okay. Another rehash strategy is, what about people that have not had tune-ups or plumbing inspections, right? So plumbers, you could create a home inspection offer that's like $39, $49, $59, $89, whatever you think would be good in your market, and send that out to everyone that has not had one. And if you have both services, so if you have heating and air conditioning and plumbing, you could send that same offer to all of your heating and air conditioning companies that have not had plumbing service. So, hey guys, we noticed that you have not had plumbing service through Yellow Bear Air. We now have Add Plumbing, and we would love to come out and give you a free home inspection. Make sure that your wax seals are good. There's no slow drains. We'll go ahead and tag your water shutoff valve. We're going to put some tags underneath, double check if you have garbage disposals. We're going to double check all of that for $49 this month. If you'd like to, click here and schedule within the next 6 days. Or we're going to do it for free. Like some of y'all, like, just get us in the home. Get us in the home. Once you get in the home, you've re-energized that relationship. So if you're that hungry for leads, give a free whole home inspection or a free 10-point safety inspection on the equipment. What you need to do is just decide, what 10 points am I going to actually do? So I'm probably not blowing out drain lines and cleaning any extra pieces of that equipment. I'm doing some bare minimum things to get me in the home, right? Guys, this is how business works. It's not shady. It's not bait and switch. Are you going out there and doing 10 things that you told them you were going to do? Yes. Are you coming out there for $49? And if it was slow draining today, odds are it might still be slow draining. Those are all truthful things. So as long as you're doing truthful business practices, all of these may or may not apply or appeal to your customers. So no tune-up. So people that have had no drain clearings, like, hey, we noticed that you've never had slow drains in your home. So if I got that message today, you know what I would automatically think? Man, my husband's sink on his side in the bathroom is a slow drain. And right now they're willing to come out for $29. I'm going to call and I'm going to say, hey, my husband's because it's been an issue, but it's not enough of an issue for me to call in today, especially if I think it's going to cost me $300 or $400. So you see, like, you're providing opportunity right now for people that may just be in a period of waiting, as we say. They're just kind of like, it's not bad enough yet that I need to call a plumber, but for $29, I'll call a plumber. And then you're going to get in the home, and then hopefully you upsell me on your maintenance program. You might ask me to see other drains. You might notice that my toilet is loose. Like, guys, you look for opportunities. Okay. And then what about people that have their equipment is having a birthday? So you're like, hey, it looks like you bought your system from us 10 years ago. Congratulations. Happy 10th birthday. Also, here is a free month of our maintenance program. We see that you're not on it. We'd love to give you the first month free. Try it out. We're going to come out and get you scheduled for your tune-up and see if you're interested in this. But we'd love to give you the first month free when you sign up for a year of our membership club. Right? Those are easy things. And then even abandoned calls. So those of you that are on Service Titan that have a good hold on your abandoned calls, you have a phone number. A lot of times you can rehash those people. Hey, we saw that you gave us a call. Unfortunately, we weren't able to connect. Click here to schedule online with McWilliams Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. So those are cool opportunities, guys, to be able to do those things. So again, just to double back on our checklist here. So remember, this is a period we have no calls. So we've got our digital checklist, just some due diligence. We went and made sure that everything was working. We went and added some stuff to our Google business profile. We added some social media content. We started rehashing and really diving into how we could segment people that we already have access to. The other thing that we can do is using email marketing that is prospect email marketing. We have a great vendor that helps pull email list. We're doing emails to those people. So it's prospecting email. So I think it's costing some of my clients $1,500 a month to send out these customized email, but they're prospecting. So it's more like, hey, Yellow Bear Air now has a $59 drain, or Yellow Bear Air and Plumbing now has a $59 drain clearing special, or a $69 whole home plumbing inspection. Be ready for that Arctic freeze coming in soon. East Texas doesn't know how to deal with that. We'll see you soon. Click here to schedule. There are ways that you can do prospect emailing. So, not emailing inside your database. So, people will tell me, I do direct mail and I do email. Well, you're doing it to your existing database. That's not generating new customer acquisition. We've got to get new customers. A business with no new customers is a dying business because your customers are going to die off. So, literally, we have got to get new customer acquisition on our radar. It has to be a priority. And so, prospect emailing is one of those things that I recommend. If you have the funds for it, I would try it very consistently by sending at least 3 emails and get a read on it. I had one client send out the first email, generated $60,000. So, how many of y'all would take that right now? A lot of you. So, prospect emailing is an option. Outbound dialing is an option. I just met a new vendor, Elite Call. Elite Call is a fantastic opportunity for you to work with a company that's going to mine your database. And I might speak on this a tad, but you'll get the gist. From what I understand, they call the client your database on a rotation. And after so many rotations, they automate with Chirp to send them a text. Guys, all of that is happening behind the scenes. They guarantee a certain booking rate and they also charge you per lead. So just look at it as another paid lead source. But if you don't have if your CSR team is not really good at outbound dialing your existing database, Elite Call is an option. You could also do a really good Facebook video and make that a social media ad. There are ways that you can get out there, but you have to have money a lot of times to push out there. Rehashing, a lot of times you still have money that you've invested in Chirp or Hatch or something. And so a lot of those things are impactful to have at your disposal so that you can click and pull when you need to. So, okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me for February, our juiced session on how you really can try to really get prepared for March and prepared for a slower tie down in the season. Just some ways that I personally think that you can get ready. Listen, this may not be everybody's style. This is just my advice and what we do to try to make sure that everybody is happy and healthy. Last little pro tip, double check that call answering. Double check those CSRs. Are they booking every single call? And then double check those average tickets. Are they making the most of every single call? Are those technicians and plumbers making the most? Are they providing options? Are they doing everything they can to generate more revenue? Guys, I hope you have a fantastic February. We love you guys. Thank you so much. And we will see you next month in March.